the fighting spirit. So I had done an exclusive podcast with Nish at the Cosmic Salon, and that podcast was called Navigating the High Seas of 2025. And the chart, which I shared on Facebook and also on the community page of the YouTube channel, was this chart so that you could all read the details of this. So we've been through the two eclipses, and as I said, the eclipse was at Gamma Pegasi, which is called Alganeb, at 9 degrees Aries. It was the nature of Mars and Mercury, where you could be reduced to poverty and misfortune, possibly becoming a ward of the state, or it will create a fighting spirit that preserves the horse rider in battle. And I had written right here that society would begin to break away. Now, I drew this chart back in January, and I knew that by this point, we're on April 3rd right now of 2025, that we would start to divide, what's called a bifurcation. And if you want to go back into my blogs, some people have used the Go Back machine, and I actually have a PDF of the Galactic Shaman Astrologers.net old blogs where I explained that the only way that this can happen is a bifurcation. So let me explain a little bit about the bifurcation. And I've been really considering this because last week I had a hard day where I cried half the day. I mean, I absolutely sobbed because I realized that this is absolutely happening. And the bifurcation, remember, this is a holographic reality of a system environment. What it used to be controlled by was the demiurge grid of the Fibonacci sequence and all the geometries that were Metatronic geometries, like the so-called flower of life and the Vesica Pisces and all that baloney. And I had said in my blogs, like, basically you had to get rid of Metatron. So I had made videos about Enoch, and he was the lesser Yahweh, and he got transfigured, and he was one of the fallen beings that Yahweh was very pleased with. So Enoch is Metatron, and I made those videos. And I also made videos about Sophia as the mother of the demiurge, and that Sophia Pistis, or Pistis Sophia, or however you want to call it, is a demon. She's a demon or an archon. And everyone argued with me, no, she's an eon, she's a goddess. I was like, no, she is the mother of Yaldabaoth, a completely irresponsible and what I would consider shadow feminine, a shadow of a real female. So that's Sophia. So I did all those videos, and those are in my blogs and everything. And the demiurge structure, as I explained, is an overlay. It's an artificial construct that has been laid upon an organic earth. Okay, so the matrix, as far as I know, is being taken down, and all of you were part of that because you understood that religion, political, medical indoctrination was the deception, as were all of the baloney about the Anunnaki and the Draconians being our so-called creators. So I have proven that across the board, and that has been a heck of a journey, because any of you who know me personally, and I would say about 7 people know me personally, 7 people on the whole planet or system environment know me personally, you know what a fight that was for me to get that information out, including I still have the screenshots from an entire academy that said I was a dangerous transgendered Freemason who, if anything happened to any of them, they should look to me because they were trying to get a restraining order against me because I was a dangerous person. And of course, I have over 5,000 recordings of me out there on all of your personal recordings. And, you know, none of that panned out. But that happened last June. I was threatened extremely, okay? And extreme black magic was used against me in addition to technology. But where we are now, and you can go get my blogs. Natalie has a Google Doc of my old blogs. So Natalie, who I did the aquatic asteroids with, one of my students, has put a whole bunch of stuff on Telegram. I don't even have Telegram, okay? I just use Facebook to put up things like this so you all can look at the eclipse and how it's going to fall in your chart, and all the other handouts, which are handwritten for my students, and assignments like, you know, draw Venus's pattern. Venus is retrograde right now. Here's the keywords for Venus. You know, that's what I put on my Facebook. I don't scroll through Facebook. And in fact, very few of those people who are on Facebook are my friends. Okay, so you have to realize that social media is part of the artificial construct. So that page is for my clients and my astrology students, but you can go there, and I'm not even sure I'm going to continue that because I'm not accepting any more Facebook requests at this point, because there are a massive amount of people in what I call the other category of the bifurcation. Those people who do not know how to get peas from their yard or the neighbor's yard. So Claude is sitting next to me right now, and I'm going to show you Claude. There he is. He's for real. That's my partner. And we live, Claude and I, in a matriarchy. So he's there. There he is. We live in a matriarchy. Claude knows I'm smarter than him. Claude knows I'm more intelligent and can figure things out. And Claude does the work that Claude does, which is mostly working in the yard, making sure we have plenty of food. In some of my old videos, there are videos of Claude and I say it was the hardest work I've ever done. I died 1,000 deaths to be with Claude. And this is what organic human culture is supposed to be. It's a matriarchy, and men do fabulous work of support work. And if you don't like that, please do not continue to watch my videos. The next thing is, in the bifurcation, we are not leaving anyone. They are leaving us. So the reason I shared many times over that video of Aurora escaping the 5D prison matrix of the heaven 5D, which is a Hunger Game, which I saw, I'm a seer, and I saw that 5D was a new age, new cage prison called the metaverse that would also be based on metatronic geometries, the Fibonacci sequence, and so forth. That is currently changing here because they are leaving. They are leaving. The graphinated are leaving. Your DNA is everything in this process. And I shared, I don't even know the name of the man, in 2019, he created a different geometry, which is amazingly similar to Aurora's flying rainbow lasagna geometry, with all the elements in a geometric form that is your true DNA multidimensional package. That is your original blueprint. So you're not going into 5D. What you are doing is rectifying your DNA by becoming part of nature again, getting fresh peas from the lady down by the lake, the lady of the lake, our friend who also grows cabbages and onions and peas, and we take our dog down to the lake, and yesterday we saw our friend who, her peas are ready and her cabbages are ready before mine, okay? She's been here longer, she's growing stuff, and we buy her produce. That's how it's going to work. The people who are graphinated are literally going to disappear. They're already disappearing. And Claude and I went to the Cedar Keys. We needed a little island vacation during this last eclipse, and we did that. And we stayed very remotely on an island, and 40% of the homes were for sale. There's hardly anyone there, just like Panama City. All the homes are empty. We were walking around, like we were doing things. The difference there was that there's really no Wi-Fi signal. And so the kids were not on tablets. So we ate some meals out because we were staying on an island and we did not have our own food there. And we saw that there were no kids on iPads. They were almost normal kids. They were almost normal. Like they interacted, they were normal, they were kids. We are going to bifurcate. That is what's happening. And it's all holographic and it's a system environment that changes based on geometry. That geometry is inside of you. Whether your DNA creates a certain pattern with double strands, triple strands, quadruple strands, all the way up to 24 strands, okay? And that is your original nature. That is your original blueprint. So we're not leaving them, they're leaving us. They have changed their DNA. Okay, and unless you have successfully edited that out and you have your natural organic DNA, you are going to be uploaded. And that is what I've been saying all along, is do not merge with technology. Do not become a cyborg vampire. That is what I've been saying. Now we're at the state after passing through this eclipse where some of us are going to be wards of state and live in that digital twin reality. That's why they're making the digital twins. The digital twin reality is going to be a 5G, 6G, 7G experience. All of the leaders, the so-called leaders, drink black goo regularly. So they're going, okay? They are going. They can no longer be an organic human. They have changed themselves. And the big thing in the multiverse, in the galactic shaman perspective, because remember, I'm a galactic shaman astrologer. I am not a mundane Western astrologer. In the big, big picture, black goo is the no-no in the multiverse. And as Elon Musk said, you either beat him or you join him. And he said he could not beat him, so he joined him. He's going. They're going. They are something other than the organic human. I also have referred to the book Dune again and again, and I wrote about Dune in my blogs. Dune, which was written back in the 60s, was exactly what's going on. Okay, Dune is about this experiment where they hybridized the human and it became basically a machine that had no intelligence or creativity of its own. It just responded to this empire, like Empire Strikes Back type of thing, prison planet. And there was a secret society of women who were trying to breed back a true human. That is my society. That is my group. And I have been reflecting, because Venus is retrograde and Mars, or not Mars is direct now, Mercury's retrograde, but the ruler of my ascendant, Venus, is retrograde. So I've been going back through, where did this start? In my BitChute videos, even when I was a little kid, I ran away. When they tried to give me the oral P-O, L-I-O, I spit it out. That's in my BitChute videos, okay? I did not to my children. And so we have lived a very different organic life. I would be walking around showing you the yard right now, but my legs are in a big transition right now, and I feel like I'm getting a new leg, okay? So I've been doing some different things, and my leg is in a big transition, but I do want to show you the yard, and maybe we'll do a little bit of permaculture stuff. The DNA template that I shared on the community page and on Facebook this week is by a permaculture expert, because your DNA is linked to the correct minerals and elements. Like your DNA is connected to the nature. Now, in the Metatronic universe, they will continue with the Fibonacci. Over here, we're creating a different architecture of that original DNA so that you can leave at will, but you don't die, which I have said in my videos is how it used to be. Now, when I started this video series, I thought, oh my gosh, we got to get out of here before we're made into cyborgs. We got to get out of here. And the only thing I knew, and the only thing my close confidants, of which, again, I only have about 7, knew was the void. So we said, okay, we're not playing any more games. They destroyed Lyra, they destroyed Vega, they took over Sirius and the Pleiades. They took over, it's all from the Orion Wars. And we're not playing these games anymore. We'll just put ourselves in the void. And because naturally I drop into that void place of ecstasy anyways, I was like, okay, that's it. We're going to the void. But now something has happened. The Metatronic universe is separating. And this is not a new age concept. This is holographic, universal knowledge of how astrophysics work. The morphogenetic field, based on your DNA, is going to go this way or it's going to go this way. Either you're going to be in your digital twin, 5D metaverse heaven, they call it heaven, and it is the Hunger Games reality TV show. I remember very clearly when I was still teaching yoga, and I'm not anymore, I'm only dancing now. But when I was teaching yoga in 2023, and all of these students were watching me on Zoom, and they were like sitting there with their phone, like playing with their phone while I was doing the yoga postures, I was like, oh my gosh, that's 5D. It's like they're going to potentially be able to see us, but we won't be able to see them because they're going to be in virtual reality like Mark Zuckerberg. You don't have to drive to your job because you've reduced your carbon footprint to the point where you're in a phantom matrix. The other thing it says in my blogs, when 2022 came around, someone was like, you should read Voyager's Volume 2 because that's exactly what you're saying. And so I read like the 700 pages of Voyager's Volume 2 quite quickly, and I was like, yep, check, check, check. Saw that progression of how they were slowly moving in the machine, the technology. And the most dangerous thing you can have in your house is Wi-Fi and anything that's smart. So the only smart thing I have in this house is my phone, which I do my sessions on, and we don't have Wi-Fi here. All the neighbors have those black boxes that the electric company, that is how my neighbors no longer have any energy and just sit around watching TV. So my neighbors are still alive as far as I can tell, but they don't go on walks. They don't take their dog for a walk. They don't play ball with their dog. They don't do anything but watch TV. That is how you know you're going to the metaverse. That black box is a frequency weapon that is siphoning off your ether and your connection to your psychic, spiritual life. Okay? So those of us who still have the fighting spirit, because I have a lot of clients who are just going, I'm done, I'm not taking any of you anymore. That the people who want to exit by your own hand, do not ask for a session. I have used whiteout on all of my charts henceforth for the word death, because I am not planning to die. I am planning to stay here and become the eternal being that I have always been. And if I choose to exit, it will be at my will, but not through my physical death. If there is an incident or an accident, they've hit me by weapons, stopped my heart many times where I couldn't breathe, and I would just sit there going, okay, we'll see if I can do it. And I would always ground my feet on the earth, and then my whole energy body would come back. So that's how I do it. Dancing is incredibly important and is your connection to nature. So every day I'm very like, Claude, we're walking, I have a routine of walking several miles, and I'll walk again this afternoon, even if it's 98 degrees out there. It's been quite hot, abnormally hot, but this is part of the change too. All right. This is supposed to be a paradise warm planet, a climate that continually produces nature and food and nothing dies. Like the leaves should not fall off the trees. All right. And that is what we're going back to. So I'm in a place that is an unincorporated municipality, has the biggest, cleanest aquifer in the world, and that's where I put myself. So I have all the food, all the water, and all the firewood that I need. I, of course, got wood stoves because they're not manufacturing them anymore, but I got prepared well in advance. In 2019, I was working really hard on practical magic permaculture and told you all you have to get into a homestead. You have to stay organic. You cannot eat their food because their food, in some of my BitChute videos that still exist, that modified food, and you've seen the videos of them like double every baby chick, you cannot eat that anymore because what you eat is what you are. So that's why I guess in 2002, I was the Vermont Agricultural Educator of the Year. And then I worked very hard on farm to school movement and local food and making sure that you were part of nature. Now I grow, and mostly Claude grows, and I just kind of do a couple of plant things out there. I grow to create. I had to go to the doctor's yesterday because we're looking for a certificate to grow cannabis here in Florida, which is now legal. You can have a certain number of plants, so I'm making you a video instead of calling the department to get that certificate right now. But I am going to become a natural grower of medicine, herbs, plants, trees. I mean, the first thing Claude and I did is we ate a bunch of local fruit, took the seeds out of our mouth and stuck them in the ground. That's how you grow food. It's that complicated. The cabbage that we got from the lady of the lake yesterday, I told Claude, keep the little root nub and stick it in dirt, and that's our biggest cabbage out there. You take a root nub from a celery or an onion or a cabbage or the top of a pineapple and you stick it in dirt. It grows that easy. And I realized when I was talking to my friend Maggie this week, Maggie, you're one of my 7 friends. Claude's laughing. I have about 7 friends. I talk to Maggie once a month. She's become a priority. She's a potter, and we have this dream together. She's going to show me how to make pottery, and she's an excellent gardener. She was the only one who was putting up posts for the Practical Magic Permaculture page that I used to have of showing people how to grow food. It's super easy. Maggie knows. So Maggie, you and me, sister. So to me, we're going to take the organic human, just like Dune, of a secret society of women who are going to take the organic human forward. And I have discussed this at length. It's not the new age. It's not 5D. It's what you originally are. You're part of nature. And as far as I know, the architecture is no longer going to be Metatronic here. That layer of the 4th dimension astral realm, which I told you all the demons are in the 4th dimension, is being taken down by some very powerful astral warriors. I fought with them like crazy in 2018 and almost got killed in the astral realm because I was doing it completely alone. But now different groups of astral people who can astral travel are working together, and they've taken down the whole Metatron, what is called their great nothing. But Pistis Sophia, just as I said, which is why I was so happy to find these people, is the main demon. She's the demiurge mother. She was responsible for all the sexual misery between man and woman. And actually, there's a report, someone was working with this demon, and she also put up all the porn sites because she loves that like perverted, bad sex energy. That is a demiurge mother. And I still see people calling themselves like Pistis Sophia, and I'm like, you folks just don't know. So they're like feeding that religious belief to that egregore, who, as far as I know, has been taken down. So the last part of this video is in my blogs. I had said the Metatronic geometry is going to be taken down, but now they've put it inside the blood system. So I have a video, and I don't even want to share it, of a client who showed his grandparents' blood who have had multiple, and it's totally square boxes. It's absolutely a computer that is scaffolding inside of that. That person is no longer there. And that was part of the big break that I had to make this week. I had to realize that I have to let go. And I said, let go. Do not hold on. We're going to move on. And the only way is to let go of all those attachments. We're not leaving them. They're leaving us. We are going to remain here on an organic earth. They are getting uploaded to the 5D prison where, as it says in the script, the by Baal, they will only wish that they could die. But now you actually have the ability to turn on all your organic codes. And I am like crazy. This book, which I hope to get into a little bit more about the Florida Springs, this is an excellent book, by the way, talks about and I'll do this in my next video because Viola and I, who was part of the Dolphin Ancestors group, we're going to talk about some things like this. The manatee is also a land animal. Did you know the manatee is one of those creatures just like us that can shapeshift from land to sea? That a manatee has fingernails on its flippers just like an elephant, and their closest relative is an elephant because they're able to transfigure themselves, change back and forth from land to water. The other thing is a bowfin fish, which I was extremely excited about because there's one of these in the local aquifer here that Claude and I go into. It's this one. That is an ancient creature that also lives in the larger springs that can breathe water or air. In fact, that creature doesn't need to eat even. They did an experiment. They kept one in an aquarium for a full year, and it didn't even eat. That's what we originally were. We could shapeshift, and we left at will. There's a whole lot more that I wanted to say about that, and I will start getting into that. Hopefully, in the videos coming, we'll start talking about music and sound and vibration and our ability to transfigure back into the natural state. But this is about a fighting spirit. I think about my life since I began again this round, and I go, oh, look how Claude. Now, this is what I taught. This is what I was getting to. I had to teach people that if you put this in the ground, it will grow. That's what I did most of my life. I was an outdoor educator. I started at Letchworth State Park in 1986. I did nature walks, outdoor education, communing with the birds. Then I went to James Baird State Park in Poughkeepsie, New York. Same thing, nature center, commune with the birds, take walks in nature. Then I went to the Taconic Outdoor Education Center, where I brought kids from New York City, and they spent 3 days in the woods in a cabin. They'd never even seen nature, and I taught them survival skills and how to commune with nature. And then right on into when I moved to Vermont, I remember 2001, I was doing experiential education in a small private school, and then I went into farm to school after that. And yes, I've done all kinds of things in terms of farmers markets and practical magic permaculture, and even there's a book about the root cellar that we had in Vermont. So that has been my life experience. I haven't changed. I know exactly what we need to do. The other people are leaving us. They're becoming digital, and they will quickly find that their soul has methylated out into that digital twin in the 5D prison. That's why I put up that geometry picture of the elements and the minerals that are necessary. And I got another message today from someone whose copper levels are way too high. Well, I was at the doctor's yesterday. I'm the perfect weight. My blood pressure is like 103/84 or something like that. She's like, wow, you're the only healthy person left alive, right? I mean, these doctors, there's no one even in the doctor office. She took me on the spot for the inflammation and subluxation of my new knee that's changing so much. But that's because I'm dancing, so my knee is in a different state. All right, so plant your peas. Become a natural human. That's all you got to do. They're leaving us. We're not going anywhere. You got to get your fighting spirit going. All right? Bye-bye for now.